All right, so we're gonna go to our advice segment here. All right, this is a personal one. This is a tough one too. There's a teenage girl in my family who has been dealt a bad hand, dysfunctional family, blamed for being sexually abused, and anything else you can think of, and oftentimes has thoughts of killing herself.
Mhm.
What advice can I give to help her see the value in her life? Um, so I'm just gonna start first here. I know someone personally who this happened to, and first I just want to say you're special. I'm talking to our,
Anonymous.
our anonymous. She's special. I'm sorry. Sometimes in this world, things happen and we can't explain them. We just don't know why. Um, but for anyone going through this, you're special. You deserve to be here. Don't let anybody take your light from you. Because if you do, you're letting them win. Family, sometimes family, it's not family. But, you know, don't let situations that happen at home hold you back from being a beautiful flower that you're supposed to be. Now, I know it's difficult for people going through the situation. They have, their families not believing in them, especially in their own home. So it's hard. It's hard on that person. They go through life and they're like, why do I deserve this? I'm not worth it.
Yeah.
And personally, the person I know that this happened to, I know that this has affected her. This happened in her childhood, and it reached over into her adult life. So it got to the point where she feels like, I'll say a lot of people, they feel like they don't deserve a good man.
Mm.
Like once you get abused at home, you get like used to that. So when you meet like a good man or a good woman and they treating you good, and like from somebody who's been abused, they're like, this can't be. This is
It's
not real.
foreign.
Oh, I got a good show for that. If you watch Unprisoned,
Prison, it's
yeah,
like that.
it's exactly like that.
So it's like,
I heard good
why
things.
the person I know, she's we used to date, you know, and it didn't work out. One, because I was cool with her parents, and like sometimes like females, they don't want that, like, oh, that my parents like them. No, I want something that's me, like
Because they only register like the toxic, the
that.
high, the roller coaster, the thrill, like the thrill of the
Mhm.
up and the down and the mess and the arguing and stuff like that.
Don't be afraid. If you don't have nobody in your corner to talk to, talk to a teacher. Let them know what's going on, or trust a friend. You know, don't be scared to reach out for help because you got a lot of young kids that like they're scared. They don't know what to do.
No, there's a lot of emotions, especially like we don't know how old this person is, but there's a lot of emotions that sometimes come too quick to kids and they don't even know how to process what that feels like,
Hmm.
or put a name to it. Um, once again, I'm a huge advocate for therapy, at any age, and it's now becoming more and more cost effective. I know I found a good therapist on what is it, headaway.com, headco, something like that, and you put your insurance in, and then it tells you how much you would pay out of pocket, and it could vary. I only pay like $40, so that's
That's
cheap.
good. That's good.
That's cheap for my insurance. I pay like $40, and I see my therapist once a week. And I'm a grown woman, but you have to. Like for children, I know me. If I was to have a child, I'm not saying I'm gonna put them in the therapy session every week, but maybe once a month. I just want them to check in like an oil change so that they could just get used to talking to somebody outside of family.
Right.
Sometimes that this is your own personal diary. So I think sometimes we could like look at it like that, normalize the conversation around it so that this way a kid, it doesn't feel foreign when you're an adult is to talk to somebody. And also that concept about family. You can make your own damn family.
Right.
You don't have to have your family be your family. Just because your family, if you feel like it is a mess, it is toxic. One of my favorite shows I love to watch is RuPaul's Drag Race. And I relate it because, a lot of them have their chosen family. When their families didn't accept them being gay or accept them in drag, they would build these families, and it just became such a support for them every single time. So it's like, that's not just designated for LGBT. You could do that if you feel your family isn't working out, you feel like nobody's feeling you. You could teach your kids how to get better, maintain good friendships if they could recognize the toxic behavior, and they could build a sisterhood. I mean, I have great friends. I like to always say that the thing that I love most is I fortunately I do come from a good family, but I also have great friends, that I could talk to, that I think, but it's sad when you see people grow up and they never knew how to build friendship because it was never instilled in them to be vulnerable, to share, to put themselves out there, to
Hmm.
go to new events. Sometimes you have to, like, if you're, I don't know how old the child is, but sometimes you might have to, if you're concerned, take them out, put them around new environments where they can meet new families and see that there's a difference in what they're going through. Because sometimes some people just stay in that trauma and they don't know that there's a Cosby family around the corner. Like, I mean, but y'all know what I mean. There's a Cosby family around the corner that is perfect and they have Sunday dinner. But you could expose them to that friend that could probably invite them over for Sunday dinner.
Right.
Those type of things can help. It's just, and not feeling obligated. I don't like that sometimes people feel like they're obligated to be in toxic situations because we share the same DNA. I'm not obligated to be part of anything that's not conducive to me and my personal development or things like of that nature. And I think I like that now the phrasing around kids, let's just say, auntie comes in and say, give me a hug. And the kid be like, no, not right now. And then the parents be like, no, go hug him. That's your aunt.
Right.
That's not teaching that child to respect their body. If they don't want to hug that aunt, they don't have to today. And I think that language that I'm now hearing with new parents, I think that should be the language, hopefully, that they could learn how to, voice what is their thing that they can control. Their locus of control is her body. She could probably control her environment, maybe not, like, find some sort of quiet space, things like that to help. I don't know.
Now, being in a school system,
Yeah.
have you come across any situations like this? Like you heard of a child being abused at
All
home?
the time. And honestly, that's what's really the most taxing part when you are in education is you wear all of those. You could have a kid over here who comes from a perfect family, a kid over here who didn't eat in 3 days, a kid over here wearing hand-me-downs from a shelter, a kid over here. So imagine having all of these different kids in your environment, and as a teacher, you're just taking all of that on. Emotionally, you just go home, you feel like you have to wash the day off sometimes. So that's why I will always advise the parents is making sure, like you said, talk to a teacher. Teachers are band-aid reporters. They got a call. So maybe that could help, In therapy, there's counselors in school. Sometimes parents could write in a letter saying that they want their kid to have counseling. Those type of things can help. And then also, once again, building friendships. I don't know why parents stop doing play dates, but if you see that good kid in school, maybe you might want your child to be like them.
To have that good
Get a play
influence.
date going,
Hmm.
and maybe they could take that kid on a trip with their bestie or something and expose them to different life. So I don't know. I think sometimes, a lot of the times, a lot of the solution to being in certain environments is branching out and finding newer paths to have hope that you could escape it because you've seen that it exists.
Right.
You've seen a black doctor. You've seen people happy. So you know it exists. You just need to leave this environment and then go build your own family. Because unfortunately, kids are stuck in that environment until they're like, what, 18? Go away to college. Just leave. Take out the loan, go to campus, and then reinvent yourself. I think that helps a lot sometimes.